The Gospel according to Mary is based on the Coptic text of Papyrus Barrolensis 8502. The Gospel of Mary has no known author, and although it's popularly known as a Gospel, it's not technically classed as one, as Gospels generally recount the events during Jesus' life, rather than beginning after his death. In the Gospel of Mary, which isn't officially recognized by the Church, Mary Magdalene is framed as the only disciple who truly understands Jesus' spiritual message, which puts her in direct conflict with the Apostle Peter. Mary describes to the other apostles a vision she has had of Jesus following his death. Peter grows hostile, asking why Jesus would especially grant Mary, a woman, a vision. Why was the Gospel of Mary rejected from all the Bible translations? I maintain that the motive for excluding the Gospel of Mary was not the text's lack of conformity to the requirements of apostolic succession or orthodoxy, but was grounded within the struggle to suppress the agency and participation of women from the patriarchal hierarchy that defined the developing structure of the religions of the time. The Hebrew and Christian scriptures originated in a patriarchal society and perpetuated the androcentric, male-centered traditions of their culture. Today, feminist analyses have uncovered the detrimental effects of these traditions on women's self-understanding and role in society and in the churches. Now let us read together the Gospel according to Mary. Pages 1 through 6 are missing. It reads, an eternal perspective. Then will matter be destroyed, or not? The Savior said, every nature, every form, every creature exists in and with each other, but they'll dissolve again into their own roots, because the nature of matter dissolves into its nature alone. Anyone who has ears to hear should hear. Peter said to him, since you've explained everything to us, tell us one more thing. What's the sin of the world? The Savior said, sin doesn't exist, but you're the ones who make sin when you act in accordance with the nature of adultery, which is called sin. That's why the good came among you, up to the things of every nature in order to restore it within its root. Then he continued and said, that's why you get sick and die, because you love what tricks you. Anyone who can understand should understand. Matter gave birth to a passion that has no image because it comes from what's contrary to nature. Then confusion arises in the whole body. That's why I told you to be content at heart. If you're discontented, find contentment in the presence of the various images of nature. Anyone who has ears to hear should hear. The Gospel. When the Blessed One said these things, he greeted them all and said, peace be with you. Acquire my peace. Be careful not to let anyone mislead you by saying, look over here, or, look over there. Because the Son of Humanity exists within you. Follow him. Those who seek him will find him. Go then and preach the gospel about the kingdom. Don't lay down any rules beyond what I've given you, nor make a law like the lawgiver, lest you be bound by it. When he said these things, he left. But they grieved and wept bitterly. They said, how can we go up to the Gentiles to preach the gospel about the kingdom of the Son of Humanity? If they didn't spare him, why would they spare us? Mary and Jesus. Then Mary arose and greeted them all. She said to her brothers and sisters, don't weep and grieve or let your hearts be divided, because his grace will be with you all and will protect you. Rather, we should praise his greatness because he's prepared us and made us humans. When Mary said these things, she turned their hearts toward the good and they started to debate the words of the Savior. Peter said to Mary, Sister, we know the Savior loved you more than all other women. Tell us the words of the Savior that you remember, the things which you know that we don't, and which we haven't heard." In response, Mary said, "I'll tell you what's hidden from you." So she started to tell them these words. She said, "I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, 'Lord, I saw you in a vision today.' In response he said to me, 'You're blessed because you didn't waver at the sight of me. For where the mind is, there is the treasure.' I said to him, 'Lord, now does the one who sees the vision see it in the soul or in the spirit?' In response, the Savior said, 'They don't see in the soul or in the spirit, but the mind which exists between the two is what sees the vision and it that.'" Pages 11 through 14 are missing. Overcoming the powers. And Desire said, "I didn't see you going down, but now I see you're going up. So why are you lying, since you belong to me?" In response, the Soul said, "I saw you, but you didn't see me or know me. I was to you just a garment, and you didn't recognize me." When it said these things, it left, rejoicing greatly. Again, it came to the third power, which is called ignorance. It interrogated the soul and said, "Where are you going? In wickedness you're bound. Since you're bound, don't judge." And the soul said, "Why do you judge me, since I haven't judged? I was bound, even though I haven't bound. They didn't recognize me, but I've recognized that everything will dissolve, both the things of the earth and the things of heaven." When the soul had overcome the third power, it went up and saw the fourth power, which took 7 forms. The first form is darkness. The second, desire. The third, ignorance. The fourth, zeal for death. The fifth, the kingdom of the flesh. The sixth, the foolish wisdom of flesh. The seventh, the wisdom of anger. These are the 7 powers of wrath. They ask the soul, "Where do you come from, you murderer, and where are you going, conqueror of space?" In response, the soul said, "What binds me has been killed, what surrounds me has been overcome, my desire is gone, and ignorance has died. In a world, I was released from a world, and in a type from a type which is above, and from the chain of forgetfulness which exists only for a time. From now on, I'll receive the rest of the time of the season of the age in silence." When Mary said these things, she fell silent because the Savior had spoken with her up to this point. Conflict over authority. In response, Andrew said to the brothers and sisters, "Say what you will about what she's said. I myself don't believe that the Savior said these things, because these teachings seem like different ideas." In response, Peter spoke out with the same concerns. He asked them concerning the Savior, "He didn't speak with a woman without our knowledge and not publicly with us, did he? Will we turn around and all listen to her? Did he prefer her to us?" Then Mary wept and said to Peter, "My brother Peter, what are you thinking? Do you really think that I thought this up by myself in my heart, or that I'm lying about the Savior?" In response, Levi said to Peter, "Peter, you've always been angry. Now I see you debating with this woman like the adversaries. But if the Savior made her worthy, who are you then to reject her? Surely the Savior knows her very well. That's why he loved her more than us. Rather, we should be ashamed, clothe ourselves with perfect humanity, acquire it for ourselves as he instructed us, and preach the gospel, not laying down any other rule or other law beyond what the Savior said." When Levi said these things, they started to go out to teach and to preach. The Gospel according to Mary. Produced by Shaw Verne Production at Fixing My Faith. Thanks for watching.